Year 9s. Well, now I'm going to show you how to make the coleslaw that you can have with your baked cheddar chicken. That's on the other video as well that I've uploaded. And I just show it to you, but it's this lovely, it's quite a light, fruity, sweet coleslaw but much nicer ones you buy in the shops, because the ones you get in the shops have got loads of mayonnaise in them. I think, well, you taste the mayonnaise, you don't taste all the lovely vegetables that are in there. So in here, and normally in coleslaw you would have white cabbage. This time I'm using some red cabbage, which just gives it, it tastes the same, just gives it a nicer colour, a bit more attractive. Carrot, which is what you normally have in coleslaw as well, but I'm using carrot. So I usually have onion. I'm using spring onion, which gives it a sort of different colour. So you've got a bit of green going in there, a slightly more oniony, different oniony flavour, but you can use onion if you haven't got that as well. You could use sliced onion. I'm also going to put some apple in it, which you don't normally find in coleslaw, but that makes it sweeter and nicer, and you get the colour from the apple going in as well. Now I'm putting mayonnaise in it. Light mayonnaise you can get it. This isn't light, but if you can get light mayonnaise, that'd be even better. But only a tablespoon. I'm going to put in some natural yogurt. I've got some fat-free yogurt here, which is going to make it lighter and a bit healthier. Not quite so fatty. I'm also going to put some Dijon mustard in there. It's a little bit, so you probably wouldn't even know it's in there. If you don't like mustard, it's just a flavouring really. It's not going to have a lot of heat, because it's only a quarter of a teaspoon in quite a lot of coleslaw. And some salt and pepper. I think that's everything, so I'm going to crack on and do it now. So first thing to do is to get all those things together in a bowl. So you're going to get your the things you're going to put in your dressing first of all. So the recipe is 3 tablespoons of natural yogurt. So if you haven't got a tablespoon measurement, I'm sure somebody at home would help you judge the right amount, just as long as it's roughly the right amount. 3 tablespoons. I'm going to put in a quarter of a teaspoon of this Dijon mustard into the bowl as well, into there. So that's going to add a lovely flavour to it. And a tablespoon of mayonnaise. Right there. So it's basically more yogurt than mayonnaise, but you still get that lovely mayonnaisey sort of creamy flavour in there as well. And I'm going to put some salt and pepper in there, just 3 turns of each one. If you wanted to, you could put a bit of curry powder in there. If you've got the curry mayonnaise there, you could put maybe some smoked paprika in there if you wanted to, and just give that a stir up. And so you've got, that's the dressing to put over all these lovely vegetables. So that's all ready to go, to put everything in there. And now, so ingredients, the recipe says it's a quarter of a red cabbage, 1 carrot, 2 spring onions and an apple. So this is quite a big red cabbage I've got here. So I'm just going to cut off so roughly what I would think a quarter would be in a the right amount, and just put that down there. Now, what you really want to do, whenever you're cutting up red cabbage, you need to get it onto its flat side. So you need to cut a slice off. It's going to be much easier. Let me move my board a little bit closer. And much easier if you can get it onto, so you've got a nice flat side now if you're going to be chopping. Now you could do this in the food processor if you wanted to. I'm also going to cut that in half using bridge and a rock chop, make it a bit easier to chop with. You could do this in a food processor. If you've got a slicer attachment on the food processor, that would be good as well. Or you can do it by hand. You have a nice sharp knife for this, and we're going to do some rock chopping. There's different sorts of chopping. Rock chopping is when you chop like that. The tip of the knife is coming down and you're rocking. Some things that are quite tough to do. There's another one called tap chopping. And that wouldn't be suitable for red cabbage because it wouldn't cut. The tap chopping with things like cucumber and mushroom, which are really soft, and you can hear that little tap going on. The other one is cross chopping, where you chop like that, where you do garlic and you do chilli and herbs. But we're doing rock chopping today. So you start off in the claw position, that's if you're doing an onion. So you've got thumb tucked right back, and you're lifting the knife up, keeping the tip down, and you're getting it as thin as you can. And as your finger comes close to the blade, you're just pulling your finger back and just resting the knife on that part of your finger as you go through. So my fingers are never underneath the blade, they're never vulnerable. I'm pulling them back. If they feel vulnerable, then you might need to tip the cabbage over or go onto a claw position, or go onto a bridge position. So I'm turning it over now and going that way now with my cabbage. Don't worry if little bits come, we can always go over those bits again. So just tipping it over each time to get nice thin slices of red cabbage. So it's not wobbling about, it's always flat on the worktop. So rock chopping it through like that. Just going to give it a lovely colour, lovely flavour. The basis of coleslaws is red cabbage. I'm going to show them this one as well. Getting it through, doing a rock chop. And if it starts to get difficult, change to bridge or turn the cabbage over. Put that little bit, that leaf doesn't want to come in, I'm going to put it there. And then going down and doing the same thing. So you might like a finer coleslaw when you use a food processor, but it's good, this is good practice of your knife skills here. Get all that done and just chop that through. So I'm going to put my red cabbage in with my mayonnaise and yoghurt and mustard in there. And get that out of the way, clear my board. I'm now going to do the carrot. Now I've washed the carrot and now I'm going to peel the carrot. So I've washed it and now peeling it. With a speed peel you should either decide you can go that way or you can go that way. I like to bring it towards me. Get all the peel. Don't keep going, stop when you've got all the peel off. Okay. And then we're going to do what we call top and tailing it. Again, which is a rock chop, where we go down like that on either end, and then we're going to take all the peelings off. Like we said before, it clears the board nicely, and obviously you're going to have bacteria on that as well. Now I'm going to grate this carrot. I want the big holes, the grater. This is just going to be too fine, also quite hard if you cut your fingers on it. And these ones were once used for slicing, but not very sharp now. And this one is great for doing parmesan or doing lemon or lime zest. But you want these big holes, and you're going to grate that carrot. So pulling your hand back, you want to grate your hand as well. And I'm also going to grate the apple, but I'm going to leave the apple to the last. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. I'm just going to slice the spring onion, show you how to clean a spring onion. So this makes this a healthier dish because you're adding fruit and vegetables to baked cheddar chicken, which you should be doing every meal. The healthy eating guidelines are to base your meals around fruit and vegetables and starchy foods. And then you have protein. In this country, people do protein and then little bits are just add-ons. And the protein should be the smallest bit of the meal. The fruit and vegetables and the starchy things like your potatoes and the rice. I'm just going to lift that up. They should be much larger, but we sort of tend to get it the wrong way around. So I'm just going to put my grater to one side a minute. I'm just going to wipe that board down, tidy as we go along. Obviously I washed my hands before I started cooking. Didn't say that, but just washed my hands were nice and clean. Now spring onions. Now some people cut quite a bit off spring onions and they waste quite a bit. I just need to take off the end bits and the bit where the root was. These have been washed as well, because we're eating the whole thing, so you would wash these. Then just peel off any leaves that don't look very nice, because it's been washed. So if it looks okay, sometimes the leaves get a little bit wilted on the outside. But as you can see that, you just pull those off. But some people cut spring onions down to there and they waste all of this, which is such a shame. Now, when your life skills get really good, you can put two of them together, and again, you can do a rock chop. And you want to cut these, pulling the fingers back, doing the rock chop. You want to cut these into thin rings. So I'm just pulling my fingers back as I chop. This is how you do it. It was a pepper, like we just did with the, could be apple slices. Just cutting it into rings like that. Courgette, you would do courgette like this as well. Doing a rock chop. And we've got that lovely onion flavour and the green going through the coleslaw as well. So I'm going to pick those up with my knife and put those in with the other ingredients. And now I'm going to finally pick my apple. I kept my apple to last because I don't want it to go brown. Remember, once you break the skin on that, you let oxygen in. It's called oxidation, and it changes the starches in there. The enzymes in there, and it'll go brown. Now, it's actually okay to eat. It doesn't change the taste, it just doesn't look very nice. Other things that do that, you've got potatoes do it, bananas do it, avocados, mushrooms and aubergines. Carrots don't do it, and strawberries don't do it. It's just certain fruits and vegetables do it. So we do this last thing. And I wash this, and we're going to keep the skin on. So we want to grate it. So rather than chopping, cutting the skin up, if you just grate it, grate a quarter of it until you feel like you've hit the core. Then just stop and turn it. Turn it when you get to the core again. So you should do it 4 times. You should be grating it on 4 sides, and then the last bit there. And you should just be left with the core then. There we go. And just tap your grater out. And then get your knife and put all that in that lovely dressing and the other lovely vegetables. And I'm going to tidy up now. I can show you this lovely coleslaw, mix it up together, tidy as we go along. Show people at home what you can do, so let you cook again. Now in here, I'm just going to mix this up now, so everything is coated in that lovely dressing. So say you might want to adapt this recipe, add some different ingredients in there. You might like chopped chilli in there, chopped fresh chilli if you like your things spicy. And just as you can, like I said before, it's not too fatty and mayonnaise-y like some coleslaws are. If it's not for you, you can always add a little more mayonnaise if you prefer it like that. You can add a little bit more mayonnaise, but it will be healthier because the vegetables in here are fresher. The coleslaws you buy in the shops, we don't know when those vegetables are cut. And when you cut vegetables, they're already starting to lose the nutritional value. So you're supposed to eat them as quick as you can after cutting them, or after you pick them, really. And coleslaw mayonnaise, we don't know when that carrot's been prepared. But now you know you've just done that carrot. And like I said, you now have this lovely fresh coleslaw that's going to go really nicely with your baked cheddar chicken. That'll go really nicely with anything, actually. It'd be nice for some burgers. We're going to do the burgers in a couple of weeks' time, fresh burgers. That will go really nice with any dish. So I hope you make that to go with your baked cheddar chicken, and I shall see you soon. Bye for now.